Hi, I'm Tom Eschen, and this is Power in Politics. It's the conversation about issues that are impacting people from New York to the rest of the country. With some pretty big issues going on right now, we continue to talk to people that are making those decisions, the advocates who are rallying against some of those decisions and for them too. And today we speak with one of those people. It's Rennie Glasgow, the local 3343 Vice President of the American Federation of Government Employees. He oversees some of the regional Social Security offices here in the Capital Region, and he also has rallied elsewhere throughout the Hudson Valley after some of those federal cuts that impacted some of the Social Security offices in the state of New York. And of course, you saw almost 700 nationwide moving to close those, and the federal employees impacted alongside. He's been out rallying in Schenectady the last couple of weeks with more planned in the future. I ask him about the reasons for those rallies. We talk about who this impacts the most, both the workers inside and the people that use some of these services, and a potential ripple effect beyond that. I also ask him about Elon Musk's words about Social Security, calling it the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. So Rennie will respond to some of those things that Elon Musk has said as he tries to make the government more efficient. Rennie says that that has come at a cost. Thanks as always for joining us. You can see this wherever you get your YouTube videos at CBS 6 Albany, but also on our podcast page, Power in Politics. It's free. Please subscribe today. We're joined today by Rennie Glasgow, the local 3343 Vice President of the American Federation of Government Employees. Rennie, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
It is my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
So you've been out in the last couple of weeks doing some rallies outside the local office in Schenectady for Social Security. Why have you been out there?
So why we've been out there? This all started after Elon Musk came in with Doge and started to implement measures to what he calls save waste and abuse in the agency. And they first came out with this fork at the end of the road. So the fork at the end of the road is where they offered individuals to retire early or resign and take a package. Not a lot of people fell for that one. So they came with a second package. And I asked people to not just retire, but take it $15,000, $20,000, or $25,000 and just leave. Don't matter how long you've been with the agency, don't matter if you're retirement age, it doesn't matter. You take that and you leave. And I saw that as an intimidatory tactic. They, to me, make it seem as though it was a plan to reduce the workforce in the fields and to create chaos. Unfortunately, we had 7 people from the Schenectady Social Security office, since they started this reduction, that have taken that offer and left. Their last day was last Thursday. What has this done to the agency, to the office, to the area? It has created a reduction of the people that we have to serve the public. We are already short-staffed in this office and in the area. We've already been at the 50% all-time low with staffing in Social Security. And with this happening, it just took away from the ability to efficiently perform the duties that are necessary. And then, as if that was not enough, we have had an increase in measures that will ensure or create the doubt in the public in the agency's ability to perform our jobs efficiently and effectively. They've started by removing the ability for individuals to be able to verify their information on the phone, which was what you would be able to do. There are special questions that are asked.
Yeah.
And once you can verify your information, we can change your Social Security, your direct deposit on the phone.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, among the questions that you have to answer is what is the previous Social Security direct deposit information that was there. And if you can answer that, along with other identifying information, you get the option to have it done on the phone. This was very beneficial to our seniors,
Yeah.
or individuals that can't make it to the office, the individuals that don't have transportation to get there. That has been gone. That's been removed. So now you have to come into the office to change your direct deposit. In addition, they have created what they call a two-step verification process for individuals that are trying to process an application, whether online or with someone on the phone. And once you cannot bypass that two-step verification process, you have to come into the office. This has seen so far an increase of what we have here, almost 150% increase in volume. We have seen in this local Schenectady Social Security office, over the last couple of days, standing room only. We have never seen that before in my 15 years at this office. Individuals coming in and standing room have to wait 3 hours to get a simple transaction completed.
And they're waiting so long because of those.
Because of these new measures,
Those measures you just outlined.
there's additional people coming in. And the rollout of all this is so confusing that individuals are basically just coming in because they are confused. They are thinking, I'm going to lose my check if I don't go verify my identity. So individuals are also coming in because of the way this is rolled out without any right thinking and with the intention to mess this whole thing up.
Who are those, the populations impacted by this? Who's coming in?
The most vulnerable population that is impacted by this are the low-income individuals. Lots of low-income individuals are impacted. And our senior people.
Yeah.
We feel for them. We serve a lot of senior people in this community, people that have served the years, people that have served in the war, the baby boomers. They are the ones that are enjoying this benefit right now, and they have to leave their home to come into the office to verify information that is unnecessary, that were done before on the phone.
What about the lack, obviously the 7, I think you said, that have left? How does that make this process longer? Is it just more people are tasked to do more of that, which is just to facilitate more people at the end of the day, right? There's less mouths to feed.
There's less people to perform the more actions that we have to do. And this is not just going to impact Schenectady. Just to make sure we understand, this is going to impact Albany, this is going to impact Troy, as well as Schenectady, and plus also Gloversville, which are our closest surrounding offices.
Yeah.
All of these offices will be impacted because just because of what happened in Schenectady. 7 out of 26 is gone. So you have about a 30%, 25 to 30% reduction in the force that was already short.
Did you get any indication as to why someone stayed or why they left? Why they took the offer or why they didn't take the offer?
The employees have been complaining about the uncertainty of their jobs. Every day there's a different email. There's a different message from the commissioner. The commissioner, a few days ago, he came out and said a judge blocked an order for Doge to stop having access to records. Yeah. And then he came out and say, if the Doge cannot have access, then I'm shutting it down. And then the next day he came back and say, well, I'm not going to shut it down because the judge verified something. People are not accustomed to this level of uncertainty when it comes to their job. And they don't want to be hearing maybe tomorrow, well, you're all fired.
Yeah. Did they also get the email of the 5 things that you did this week?
I have a fun joke about that.
Oh boy.
So we got the email, 5 things you did this week, and every Monday you have to send that email out. 5 things you did this week. Every Monday you have to send that email out. This Monday, yesterday, individuals complained that they sent the email and they got a response that said, the email inbox is full. The inbox is full. Today we got an email from HR that says, okay, I know you got an email that says the inbox is full. Keep your return receipt. That's proof that you sent the email.
Yeah, right.
It's a joke.
Yeah. So did you have to do that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Have you been trying to help guide individuals as to how to handle this? I guess what is the advice that you would give people?
Well, we advise from a union perspective, individuals to just concisely put what you've done. We do our job. You may do one thing this week, and next week you might do something else. It's complex. It changes. So just try to make a note of what you do and ensure that you review your job duties, because what people do not understand is that before they come up with what 5 things you do this week, Social Security employees always had to meet certain standards every week. There's something called performance quality review. You get one of those every month. You review twice every month. Every quarter, you get a performance appraisal where you have to meet a certain standard. And there's a list of performance requirements that you have to meet. So it's not that our jobs has not been reviewed throughout the year, throughout the period, as what we do and how we do what we do. But this is just another bug in our ear.
We bring back briefly to the individuals that have been waiting in line or that, how important is this to them, this service, this resource for them, that from this conversation that you've had?
People are afraid right now. People are worried that they may lose their income. And it's important to tie Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Why? Because individuals that receive Social Security benefits, they get to 65 or they're disabled. After 2 years, you're eligible for Medicare. So it's your income, it's your insurance. 2 most important things that people need in this life. And Medicaid. How does Medicaid tie in? A lot of individuals do not know, the public do not know, that individuals that have Medicaid, they do not have to pay for Medicare out of their pocket. It's $185 for Medicare a month. So out of their $1,100 a month, they don't have to pay $185 because Medicaid covers that for them. I'm hearing that there might be a cut to that also, because Medicaid may no longer be able to pay that. Now, how is this important to our community? Some people, this is their only income. This is all they have. Some people are disabled. They have disabled children. They live basically paycheck to paycheck, Social Security benefits to Social Security benefits every month.
I want to give you an opportunity to respond to some of the things Elon Musk has said. He was on Fox Business recently. He called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. Do you think there are instances of fraud or wastes that are going unchecked too often in Social Security right now?
Well, the Inspector General did highlight the level of waste that has incurred, Social Security has incurred, and it's less than 1%.
That's the net 71.8 billion number, I believe that's what it was? Yeah.
And that's over 4 years.
Yes, that's 2015 to 2022 is the time frame there, yes.
Right. So For you to refer to this program as a Ponzi scheme, you have no knowledge of what this is. You have no feelings or you have no understanding of the value and worth of this program to individuals that have paid their lifelong into this. We are paying so that our children, and the children can continue to enjoy this benefit. And if I or you get disabled today, it is something that we can lean back on. It might not be the 100% of our benefit, but it may make up at least 50% of what we can have and enjoy as a disabled person that have worked and paid into a system all their life. This is not a Ponzi scheme. You may say that there's shortfall in us being able to maintain this program for an extended period of time if there are not some measures taken. For example, increase the cap. Increase the cap, and that alone would extend the life of this program for years, decades. Change the way we do what we're doing, and that can change the program. But do not say this is a Ponzi scheme. I believe the goal of Elon Musk is to make this into a Ponzi scheme so that they can rip the money out, put it in some kind of fund, and then in 5-10 years, we're all crying on the streets because we've lost what we have paid into and expect a benefit from.
According to the Doge.gov website, it says that their cuts across the board, not just to this, have saved taxpayers $800 apiece. What's your response? Because I saw some of the comments, and after some of the rallies, the people saying, "Well, they're trying to make sure that taxpayers are saving money. That's when government is inefficient." Whatever we were just talking about. What's your response to those people that say, "Well, it's saving me $800"?
You may feel as though this is saving you $800, but this is costing you more money. It's costing you more money because you have individuals that have to go into offices and wait. They may not be able to get you today. They may have to come back tomorrow. They may have to come back the following day. You're making your own citizens punish because you are inconveniencing them. And you're firing people does not save money. It takes away from our economy. It makes it worse. What happened to the lives of those people? What happened to the lives of those veterans that have served? A lot of the people that work in public service in the federal government are veterans, a large percentage. And what happened to those people? They served, and then they're providing an additional service, and then they're fighting for their family and their life because you fire them illegally. How is that saving money?
And along those same lines, where do these people go is the question. Like, I'm sure there's other services, other resources, but those often come through municipalities, and how are those paid for, right? In terms of taxes and things like that. I imagine that's, I'm
if
sure
you're putting
part
so
of the
many people on the breadline, and they will have to apply for services, they will have to apply for Medicaid, they'll have to apply for food stamps, they'll have to apply for help, because they're down. $20,000, how far can that take you after taxes? We were talking before we started, and you've been in this role for more than, I guess, 10, 15 years now, you could say. How have things changed by administration? Have there been changes? Have you seen anything like this before? Because you've seen Obama, you've seen the first Trump, Biden, and now the second Trump. Has there been any intricacies over the course of this tenure that you've had that you've seen in this light? One of the biggest things that I've seen under the Trump first administration as well as this administration is the fact that they love to union bust. They have an hatred for union, and we always have to fight to represent our people harder under this type of administration. The other administrations are more comfy. They respect union, and they support union, and they support workers. They believe in the federal government, and the federal government, the stronger it is, the better it is. So that's what they believe in.
What are you calling for to happen next? And who are you calling on?
I'm calling on, we are calling on our Congress people. We are calling on them to stand up. We want to see them bring Musk before Congress to answer and to show cause, good cause, as to why he's doing what he's doing. Because we believe it's a measure to privatize Social Security. And we want him to show us otherwise. We let the people hear and let the people get the truth out of where this is going. We also want to see them hands off Social Security and implement changes that are beneficial, not changes that are detrimental. We're not saying that you cannot implement changes. We're not saying that you cannot, we cannot do the things differently. But firing people illegally is not the way to get things done better.
Has there been anything you've been encouraged by since these rallies have started in terms of maybe support or anything that you've seen at the federal level from lawmakers, officials?
I am very impressed with the fact that we've had our congressman at our local office. But I remember we had, I do represent offices downstate. So we had a rally at the Poughkeepsie office when we found out that they were going to close the Poughkeepsie office.
That was one of the two in New York. Yeah, I think it was 700 was on that list, right? Yeah.
So when we learned that they were going to close the Poughkeepsie office, we went down there and we held a rally. We had a very good turnout. And we continue to have vigils and rallies there every Friday at that office. And we learned that they were not going to close the Poughkeepsie office. So I'm encouraged by stuff like that. I'm encouraged when our pushback is making people second think. I'm encouraged by the fact that we have judges that can stand up and say, hey, hands off Social Security. You're not allowed to have access to these information because they are personally identifiable information, private information. You guys are not trained to look at this. Let the people that are trained deal with this. I'm encouraged by the fact that when we fight back, we see them push back.
Is there a group of individuals or a party or a movement that you are looking maybe to back or that you think can help maybe turn the tide of this conversation for you? Is there I guess, leadership that you're looking to help change some things?
Well, we're not involved in politics. We are a union.
Yeah.
We have the Federalist Union Network, which is operated out of Albany. They are a rank and file network. And what they do is a lot of the things that we cannot do or we don't have the time to do, they do in the background. They help out the unions, they help out the agencies, they put together stuff.
Yeah.
And what happens is if there is something that needs to be done, they are ready to go. And they can get people online and on stream ready to go. You can get onto them by safepublicservices.com. Individuals, you don't have to be a federal government employee to join them. Safepublicservices.com, you can contact them that way.
And I guess that's one way people can get involved. How else can people get involved?
You can get involved by joining our rallies and our vigils. We have one in Albany on Friday. This Friday, we're in Albany. And then on the 4th, we will join the folks at the Egg in Albany again. So we're at Albany at the federal government building on Friday afternoon at 5:15. And then on April 5th, between 11 to 1, we're at the Egg in Albany.
And how have these rallies gone so far?
Very, very good. I have been at a rally, one of these rallies, the Hands Off rally in Hudson, a couple of Sundays ago, and that was big when I was there. I spoke at that rally. So we're having a lot of support and a lot of turnout.
And you think, as you said, you think it's making a difference?
It is making a difference. I remember when the Congressman Tonko had his town hall, and we had someone from Social Security stood up and said Social Security. The entire audience was livid.
Yeah. Rennie, we really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Hit the subscribe button right now so you can stay up to date on these news-making conversations about the issues impacting New Yorkers the most: power and politics.